Hello everyone, it's Frances with your Book of Memories. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick and easy, fun little tutorial. In this video, I will be demonstrating how to make a variation of different types of little tassels. And once we're done creating that tassel, I'll show you some different ways you can go about attaching them to your spines of your books. Let's do it. Awesome. So a friend of mine asked me, how do you make those tassels that you attach to your book? And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to come out with a tutorial so everyone knows how to do it. And again, there's so many different ways that you can do this, but this is the way that I found the most simple, quick, and cute way to do it. So for this project, you will definitely need some scissors and any kind of medium that you want to use. I've got regular yarn here, some twisted yarn right here. These are some crochet yarns, like how I'm pointing with my scissors. This is some regular cotton twine from the Dollar Tree, and here are some different types of baker's twine. I do also have here with me a bunch of ribbons. As you can see, they're all from the Dollar Tree as well. So you really don't need to, except this one, you really don't need anything fancy to make a cute tassel. And the one thing is, of course, the more you do it, the better you'll get. So first and foremost, I think it would be best for us to start out with some yarn. So I'm gonna have some yarn right here, and you're gonna see the concept. Now, it does use quite a bit, and you'll always figure out that you may need to get more than you think, okay? So I'm just unraveling a bunch right here. Now, of course, depending on how skinny or chunky you would like your little tassel to be, or how big or small you want it to be, that's totally up to you, and you'll totally understand that concept right now. So, you just get a bunch of it. I don't know how many feet this is, but now I'm grabbing the two ends, and the same concept goes with all the different types. Okay, all the different types of string that you want to use. So now I'm just running my fingers like this until I find the end of that loop. Once I find that end of a loop, sometimes it may be fun to have a little helper. If you have like a grandkid, niece or nephew, or even your own baby, maybe they can help you walk across the room with this. So now I bring this with this, okay? These ends meet this one. So I'm gonna grab that and I pinch them together. Then I stick my hand in here and I drag it all the way until I make another loop. So it gets shorter and shorter, keeping my hands in that loop until I find that end. So now I have these and this. Now I put these together and I go in here and I find the end of this. Whatever feels most balanced. Sometimes it'll kind of get off and get wonky on you, but just try to balance it out. Now that you can grab it since it's getting shorter, then you kind of just adjust it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't be hard on yourself. Remember, this is handmade. So now that you got these ends right here, okay, now I'm going to be folding that in half. So pretty much you just keep folding things in half. See how this is already creating a tassel? So if you wanted to tie that off, that's how thick your tassel would be. Or you can make it kind of cuter and chunkier and take it up a notch. Or you could take it up another notch. Okay, I'm going to take it up another notch. That's what I'm going to do. So you see how I folded it in half a bunch of times? Perfect. With this leftover string, I'm just going to chop that. And you can get like a weight or something. For me, I'm just going to put my scissors right here. And you see that loop? I'm going to take some string. And then I'm going to figure out where I want this. And I'm going to tie that little guy right there. Unbelievable. And you could decorate these with like rings of like brass, or if you had like a metal ring that you could just pinch around it. You could do all kinds of stuff. You see how I'm tying this? This almost becomes invisible, or you can add like a little bow right here, or it can become part of the tassel, and that could be the back. So now you're probably wondering, well, Frances, what are you gonna do with all that stuff? You can leave it like that if you want, a loopy tassel. Okay, I haven't seen that done yet, actually. Or you can go in, each loop, as many as you can, many as you can find, and cut it like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's better to give yourself some leeway than it is to completely cut it too short, you can keep it scraggly like this, which is actually has a lot of character and a lot of layers to it. Or kind of shake it off like this and kind of bunch it up like you would some salad greens for your salad, okay? And cut it all at the same length. And then you have a more balanced tassel, okay? So that was the first one, and again, we can reinforce this. We can come back again with yet another string and attach that so we can feel confident that it's not gonna fall apart on us. You can even come back with a different set of string to be this closure, okay? There's so many things you could do. You could start wrapping this right here until you have like this blue string over there. I'm telling you, it's endless. Different piece of yarn color. There's so many things that you can do. Of course, this one definitely filled up faster than that crochet yarn would, but you get the idea. How cute is that? And you can make this as tight or as loose as you want it. There's the first one. It's so playful and fun and cheerful. I love it. So using that same technique, I'm going to use this to show you kind of a different look. So again, if you kept this in its original form, Francis, you wouldn't have such trouble locating the end. But you know what? Now I have a stringy mess, and that's part of crafting. So I'm going to find my own end. See, when you don't find an end, create one. Okay? Just create it. Nobody's judging you right now, except maybe myself. Oh my God, I'm such a dork. Okay. Okay, so I found an end. And now again, you can make this as short or as long as you wish it to be. And that's the beauty of it. You're not limited. This crafting stuff is so fun that you could pick and choose all of it. So now that I have the length that I want, that I think that I want, again, I'm going to find the two ends. I'm going to pinch them together and drag along until I find the loop. Then once I find the loop, I'm going to take the loop end and these two ends and take them together. Then I'm going to stick my hand in here until I find the doubled up end version of this. And I'm just going to keep repeating it until it gets smaller. So now that it's actually in view, here I go. So you can already kind of see this is kind of more of like a shabby chic, almost kind of dingy type of tassel. Now I can stop here, or I can take it up another notch and repeat the process. So now I need a little bit more string from anything really. You can use the same string from the same string, or you could use a different string to tie this knot. So again, this is the back end, and you can put this up as high or as low as you'd like it to be. And you can make it as tight or as loose as you'd like it to be. I'd like mine tight a little bit. So now again, this is the back side of the tassel, and you can add whatever you want on here. Sometimes I add charms to some of these that hang, and I'll show you how I attach these to the spine. Now you guys are grasping the concept, I'm sure. And these are two different versions of the same thing. They're just using different strings. Again, scraggly or even. This kind of goes for the scraggly look because it's more scraggly. Okay? So how cute is that? This is, I'm telling you, this is one of the most simple things that you'll ever do. Okay, so since I don't want to waste this, this is all I have. Well, I wouldn't waste it. It would be, I could use it later, but I'm actually going to skip out on using this stuff, okay? And skip right over to the ribbon. Now, the ribbon has its own way of doing this. So, it's exactly the same. But I want to make like a tassel that has several different colors with it. So, I'm going to line up some pieces. And I'm going to get a little bit of each. And it's going to be super cute and fun. Now because I'm having different ones, different colors, I won't need so much of each one. I'll just need a generous amount. Nothing too exaggerated, since they're all going to be together, and at that we'll be creating the bowl. So maybe 3 feet each. So now what I'm going to do is attach all these ends together just by pinching them, just like this. And you can put them in any order that you want. I'm going to add blue right here. And it's just a skinnier ribbon. You see, you can mix and match any thicknesses or thinness or different variations of ribbon that you want. So now that they're all together, that already looks like a super adorable rainbow with like unicorn rainbow album I see happening. So once you do that, again, you bring the ends together. And it seems as though I have kind of overshot that. So you bring your ends together. And you bring them together again. And again. And I think stopping right there would be good. Okay, you could stop at any point that you want. Now we can use string to tie these together, or yeah, let's do that. I really like this blue. I think that's cute, but I also like this coral. So see, I'm mixing different types, and that's always beautiful. It adds a lot of different personality to it. So now this is going to kind of try to sprawl out on me a lot more than yarn or string would, so I'm going to prop that down for good, and I'm going to come in here and really get that going. And somehow I'm going to try to keep that tight while I come and tighten that like this. And once you get that initial knot, you can always add more after, because now it's staying where you want it, right? And you can leave the strings there. That could be part of the decoration, or you can just put that towards the back of the book. So now that I have that, I actually want it in the front of the tassel because I think it's adorable. So I'm going to tie it again. Now that I have that stability, I'm going to go a little bit tighter. And then leave that hanging. Now, how adorable is this? You could leave it loopy, like I said, or you could simply chop the little loops. You can ruffle it up a little bit, and then that is like extremely adorable. And it didn't really take that much time, and it's totally 100% customized. Nowhere on the market are you going to find anything like this one, because you created it. How awesome is that? Now I just showed you 3 different ways to make some little easy, simple tassels, okay? Now I'm going to take a book as an example, just to show you the basic concept of how to attach these to a book. Now there's, of course, different ways to do this, depending on your personality and your personal preference, okay? So again, I know it's a winter book, but I am going to use it as an example. So let's take this one. And let's play around with this tassel. How am I going to attach it to my book? I typically don't use one of those like ring fasteners from Tim Holtz, because then I have to really line up this paper, and I don't know, I get stressed out, okay, to be honest with you. And it doesn't have enough personality for me. So whether you have a middle page or not, I like to attach my tassels using a technique where the string comes through here, comes from the back, and it attaches that way. There's also another way that you can attach a tassel. It's a stationary tassel where you just get a bunch of glue and you just stick it there. And you can move it, but this part isn't going anywhere. So that's one way to do it. So what I would do is I would get some more yarn, because that's the tassel that I made. And I get kind of a lot, I mean, because we're going to wrap it around. And what I mean by the middle page, if I had an even number of pages, I would have a middle. Because I don't have an even number of pages, I do not have a middle, I have a middle page instead. So the gusset that I'm after is going to be the 2 middle ones, which make it on the 2 sides of the middle page. That's for an odd number of pages for a book. And if it's folio, it's even more simple because we don't have any pages on the spine at all. So I'm gonna go and take my string and just kind of wrap it once this way. And I mean, you can completely leave out this side. You don't even need to do it if you don't want, but I'm just gonna wrap this anyways, just to demonstrate. So it's equal on both sides. So now I have string here and there. Doesn't have to be perfect. So now that I have that, be careful with that. Lay it flat. Find out where I want these. See, now I have two strings like this. Now that I got this string here, it doesn't even need to be this dramatic. Now that I have this string here, I'm going to go one underneath here, and this one going the opposite way underneath there. And they're going to meet up, and I'm going to tie them. Kind of tighten it. Like I said, this is a very free-spirited way of attaching a tassel. This is like not very specific. It doesn't really make you have to think about everything being perfectly lined up. And then the string that you have attached like this, it goes on your tassel like this. So if you wanted to save one layer of that tightening, you can save the next layer for attaching it to the book. Then once you cut these, you don't even realize that they're there. And then you're on your way. And that's how I go about attaching tassels to my books. I know it may seem a little bit funny at first, but once you get it going, you'll start getting better and better, and you'll start creating different ideas on how to attach it. And you could have even used a more hidden type of string to attach this. And there's just so many different ways that you could do it, but it's so free. It has a lot of personality. It's a lot of customized just love that went into this. And that is the tutorial for today. It has just been an absolute pleasure to be crafting along with you for something so simple and something so customizable that you can put your own twist on and even have more ways to have fun while crafting. Thank you so much for joining me. I am coming out with a folio next, and oh my goodness, thank you again. If you are a customer of my website, remember you can join my Facebook group. See you over there, and see you in my next video, everyone. Love you guys. Bye.